Here we start with one-shot revision videos for May 25 onwards, June 25, all CA CMA exams, wherein chapter-wise we are going to revise the every topic for costing. Okay, we'll talk all that a little later. Here we have our special student Kabilan from our September 25 batch, and he has cleared the costing exam. In May 24, he cleared his group 1. September 24, he cleared his group 2. Being from a native small place in Tamil Nadu, where all resources are not enough, but I found him very hardworking. And even if one class is missed, he would be messaging, ma'am, when the recording will be uploaded. So when students are committed to write the chapter-wise exam, students are committed to attend the classes live with the teacher every day. Definitely, we are motivated to give best, and the results are here. Congratulations, Kabilan, on clearing your inter. And now you're preparing for your articleship. You have joined and you're preparing for your final. Wish you very all the best. Kabilan, you can give some inputs to the students.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, the class was every day, ma'am. It was regular. It was not recorded or something. It was regular, ma'am. So it was easy to attend, ma'am. It was continuous, ma'am. You made the chapters. Which one should be taken first? In that order, it was there, ma'am. So it was easy to understand. Then you get end of every chapter. You said not end of every chapter, but in between every chapter, you made us to write booster notes, ma'am.
Yes.
Which can be used to revise one day before exam. It was very useful at the time of exam, ma'am. And then every sums, every model of every sums was worked in class itself, ma'am. It was of great help. And unit wise exam was conducted every day, ma'am. Not after completion of a chapter, the test for that unit was done, ma'am. It is very helpful to me, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
We took.
I remember. Yeah, please say.
Earlier we took printout of PDF, ma'am. But now it was a compiler. It was colorful. It will easy to study, ma'am. It will give us more.
That time I had given you all Sarthi costing compiler spiral material, but here we have this compiler in the book form, where booster notes which I made you write, they are in the red color to be revised again and again. Green color is covering all the theory questions, and blue color is all the question and answers. But thank you so much. One thing I would like to say about Kabilan, smallest of doubt, he will click the picture and send me, and that keeps a teacher also updated on those. Chalo, they are asking the doubt. Okay, this depth we need to teach. And I really took you all little tougher by making you solve not simple questions, but professional level questions. Yes, right? RTP,
Yes,
MTPs. So that's what I think is going to bring the result. It's very easy to say that we have solved 40 questions in class 50, but what quality of the questions you are solving, that is also very important, and appreciated that you have got the results. I remember last when I discussed with you, said one day before exam also, the booster notes which we have written in the class, that revision helped you to have a grip on the concept, right? Okay. So thank you so much for coming back here. Wish you very all the best for your final, and soon we will see CA Kabilan with us here. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for joining in this class. Bye-bye. Thank you. So that was from our student, and you know Dipti ma'am तो हमेशा बोलते रहते हैं कभी कभी student की बात सुन लो. As Kabilan said that every Sunday they have written chapter wise exam and PDF answer I would send them. They would do the self correction, and we also set 30 minutes live video is there included in the app and in the course, wherein you can correct the suggested answer के साथ PDF के साथ you have a live paper correction video where I'm correcting with you where the mistakes are. So when you take a professional coaching, costing practice batch is available, just 32 classes. Separate classes are there for contract costing for CMA and ABC costing for CA, included alag-alag apna-apna. And this compiler, what do I say? This one is my 2 decades of experience I have put in this, especially the points which you have to remember while solving the questions. They are all given in the red color, so that one day before exam, if you check the booster notes, you have a thorough grip on the concept. Theory questions are all given in the green color, and then you have with blue color quality good questions, study material backside, CMA, mock test paper, and final exam CA questions also. Okay. Now, how we are going to take one shot revision videos. If you want to do it live with me, in all the Telegram and in WhatsApp group, we are sharing the link. You have to fill a Google form, and you will get the Zoom link, so that when you attend live with the teacher, you can clear your doubts there itself. And this book is just the printing cost and the courier cost we are taking. 549, you're getting this book. And if you don't want to opt for the hard copy, soft copy will be given to you if you join the one shot this revision videos batch. Every day these practice batch recordings are available, but one shot revision videos are recorded every day in evening from 6 to 8 p.m. in a live class. So if you want to join the live class, from the link below, fill up the Google form. And one shot revision video, what's the difference in the practice batch? Practice batch, like definitely I will start with the cost sheet only. Of course, taking the first chapter theory and all. But say cost sheet went on for 3 classes, wherein I gave the concepts, and then we have practiced a lot of good problems together. कहाँ कैसे करना है, presentation and all that. Okay. Whereas in one shot revision video, I'll cover up the theory questions, I'll cover up the concepts, and I'll do some questions orally, some questions in writing. So this will be like for a lot of repetition. Once you do the practice batch with me also, students are like, ma'am, costing तो हो गया, बाकी subject में कहीं lost हो गए. So one shot revision video will not go beyond 1.5 hours. Yeah, so you can cover it up the revision at a quicker pace. The repetition which is required for that one shot revision videos are good. And with my experience, I can assure you, I will give you some alert signs ki, okay, this is the point beta jahan galti hoti hai. So you take care that you are writing like this. Okay? Right. So let us quickly start now with our first lecture. The first lecture has to be actually for the basic chapter, wherein you should know how to segregate the the semi-variable overhead into variable and fixed and all types of cost and cost accounting system and all. We will take that little later. Now we are starting with cost sheet. This lecture is very, very helpful for so many students who have written BCom exam also, or CMA exam or CA exam. Everywhere cost sheet is very, very important. What if I say that costing at interlevel is all cost sheet? When you are doing operating costing, you are preparing a cost sheet only, but for a transporter or a school college who is in service. When you are doing job cost sheet, that's also a cost sheet. Process costing is a cost sheet only, but instead of preparing vertically, we prepare a T format and process 1 to 2 and all. Contract costing is a cost sheet only. But then on the credit side, we write the work in progress, the material which is left at the site. So if you know the cost sheet properly, spare time, do it अच्छे से, you will have a grip on all the other chapters. And sometimes in costing, it's merged, whether this question is from overhead or whether this is job costing or what. This is the question paper. This is my answer sheet and my pen should flow. Ready to go? Let us begin. On screen. I'm using my material, that is the compiler. Yeah, here we go. This is it. Initially only I have given. Can you see all the formats and everywhere? Say this is the cost sheet. So all the formats and everything is given in the red color. Then we have some theory questions and all the other knowledge in the green color. Formats, all, even the booster notes. These are my own printed booster notes, which I make students write in the practice batch mandatory. But in book, if you want to go for self-study, these are prepared. And then we have the question and answers. Okay, right. Now, let us understand the format, how to make a cost sheet. What is a cost sheet? It is calculation of the total cost you are going to incur, right? That's what is the cost sheet. So there are two formats of the cost sheet in your material. One is the simple one is the detailed one. We will do the simple one. CMA exam always this is our CA exam, sometimes this, sometimes little detailed one. Mandatory question of 7 to 10 marks is asked on cost sheet with some MCQs which I will tell you, right? Cost sheet is a statement where you get breakup of all the cost in systematic way. Per unit column, if they ask, then only make in exam. Otherwise, in exam particulars, और यहाँ पे एक छोटा column बनाना है working, and then the amount. And if amount is in thousands or in lakhs, then let it continue in the same way. Okay, right. All right, chalo. First thing we start with the cost sheet is direct material consumed. Yeah, direct material consumed. So that has opening stock of the raw material, addition or purchases. When you take purchases related expenses. If you have not taken ITC, then GST on the purchases, all that you will add, minus the closing stock of the raw material. You are getting the raw material consumed, right? Once you are getting the raw material consumed, then add to it direct labor. Okay, this is a simple format. If you remember this format, okay, then it will help you to complete your question properly. So once again, understand this: direct material consumed, opening stock, addition minus the closing stock. Then we have direct labor. Okay, after direct material and direct labor is one which is working directly in the factory. We have direct expenses. So direct material, direct labor, direct expenses will give you what? Prime cost. Yeah, and after the prime cost you have the factory overheads. Okay, prime cost at the factory overhead or works overhead or the factory overhead, that is factory related expenses. This will include your indirect material, indirect labor, indirect expenses. Then what you get, you call it as gross works cost. Okay, in works cost and opening work in progress. Work which is in between, say from peanuts, if I'm making oil, then what is there in between? It's called as crude oil. So that's opening work in progress. Less the closing work in progress, we get the factory cost. Okay, right. So we get the factory cost, and or it is also called as works cost. Now add all these expenses if they are there. As of now, I want to skip. Once you get opening work in progress and closing work in progress, and factory cost is also called as cost of production. Administrative overhead will come here only if it is related to factory overhead. Otherwise, it will not come. Okay, right. So works or factory cost, add administrative overhead if it is related to the factory. Then, right. And then we call it as cost of production. Factory cost may is also called as cost of production. Then add opening stock of the, see, these are the goods which are produced, right? Add in that the opening stock of the finished goods less the closing stock of the finished goods. You get the cost of the goods sold. Sometimes in between also they ask you, dear students, cost of the production, add opening finished goods. These are the goods available for sale, right? Okay, and then we have the cost of the goods sold. Already we have produced 50 units, 2 were there, so 52 are available for sale. Out of that 10 sold, now we have 42. Sorry, out of that 10 left in stock, so now we have sold how much? 42. Add administrative expenses. Nothing given administrative expenses should be added here. but in CMA exam, they are adding it here also. So it's okay. Looking at the question, you can decide. If they give administrative expenses are general, take it after the cost of production, or you can take it before. Then selling overhead, selling and distribution overhead like delivery van, distribution say related driver, or some depot you have kept to current. You get cost of sales, and profit you get sales. Tell me, will you be able to remember this format? Shall we do mind mapping together? Opening stock of raw material, purchases minus closing stock of raw material, you get direct raw material consumed, add direct expenses, direct labor, direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. What you get? Prime cost. Add factory overhead, you get works cost. Add opening work in progress minus closing work in progress, you get again the factory cost or the cost of the production. Administrative overhead might come up. Now, once you get the cost of the production, add opening finished goods stock which you already had. Cost of production is how many units are produced now. Add opening stock minus closing stock. You get the cost of the goods which are sold, जो बिक गए हैं. And only for the cost of the goods which are sold, we will add selling and distribution expenses, not for the goods produced, but for goods sold, right? You get cost of sales. And once you get the cost of sales, add the profit, you get sales. Now the crucial part, why we call it one-shot revision video. Tell me, is this the same way you prepare ledgers also? In integrated account, ऐसे ही आप ledger भी बनाते हैं ना? Right? This goes there, then that goes to factory overhead, that goes to work in progress, that is admin and finished goods. ऐसे same, right? Okay. And very important is if some items are added, then how you are going to do it. Sure. Let us take it up. One more thing I want all of you to write down here. Say your cost is coming to 5,000. Now, if they say profit is 20% on cost, so this will be 100, this is 20, this is 100. Are you all with me? If the profit is given as 20% on cost, take cost as 100, 20 as profit, and 120. So 5,000 is 100, 120 kitna? 5,000 into 120 divide by 100. 6,000 will be sales. और ये आ जाएगा आपका 1000. ठीक है, आप लोग क्लियर है मेरे साथ? नाउ इफ ये तो हो गया प्रॉफिट इज 20% ऑन कॉस्ट. इफ प्रॉफिट इज 20% ऑन सेल्स, let the sales be 100, profit be 20% on sales, and the cost be 80. Is this clear to all of you? 5,000 is 80. 80 is 5,000. 100 is how much? So 5,000 into 100 divide by 80. It is coming to 6250 as sales and 1250 as profit. Clear to all of you? If it is 20% on cost, take cost as 100, 20% on sales, take sales as 100, 1/4, 1/3, all that you can do. Now we are going little detail. Okay. Prime cost up to it is clear, no? Material, labor, and expenses. In material consumed, opening stock, purchase, closing stock, we will add freight inward, insurance, GST, all that, trade discount to be deducted. Duties and taxes are to be added if you have not taken ITC. Same we do it in accounts also, dear students. Are you getting the grip on the concept? Now it is when it is coming to labor, you take all wages, allowances, perquisites, bonus, PF, all what you have given. Direct expenses, yeah, which are related to the factory directly, like cost of the utilities, power, fuel, steam, जो extra लगता है, royalty paid for production. Royalty you are paying, no? Say we are making Lijjat Papad in Hyderabad, but actually it's a brand of Gujarat. So we are paying them royalty. It's very well related to factory direct expenses. Higher charges paid for hiring specific equipment, some equipment if you have taken on rent, technical assistant. For manufacturing, you use dyes, molds. Say you're making laddus, Cadbury's, you make it in molds, right? So, cost of the product, service specific design, service or cost का specific software, specifically what designing you're using for the product, and other expenses which are related to the production. Okay. Next, we have factory overhead. It is also known as production or manufacturing overhead. Frankly speaking, you can write here, this material is, as I said, this book is available. You can order your copy of costing compiler and you will get it in which shipment and printing and all costs are included. You will get the details in the link below. And if not, if you just want a soft copy, then you have to fill up the form and mail us. In the mail, we will send you the PDF. That way also you can use. ठीक है? समझ में आ रहा है या नहीं? Next now, factory overhead. अच्छा, this detailed cost if required you do. Okay, otherwise the simple format is clear. Factory overhead is actually indirect material, indirect labor, and indirect expenses. Yeah, so this includes consumable stores and spares. Factory related expenses, indirect. Depreciation of the plant and machinery and factory related building और जो भी factory के अंदर है, rent of the production assets if you have paid, repairs and maintenance of plant and machinery, insurance, depreciation, indirect labor cost. Like you have supervisor, so supervisor is not direct labor, but he'll take care of all the factory units, so his salary will go in factory overhead. Drawing and designing department cost, insurance, factory related plant and machinery ka depreciation, repairs and insurance. This we same do in section 30, 31 and 32 of income tax. Assets which are related to business, unka repairs, unka insurance, unka depreciation. Amortization of jigs and fixtures and all, and other equipments, water control equipment, energy saving devices like that, if any. This is the detailed one I'm teaching you all. Okay, right. Now, as they said, look at the screen. ये इसलिए मैं पढ़ा रही हूं कि ये एक बार आ चुका है, दो बार आ चुका है, in fact, that after factory overhead they are adding some cost. What is that cost? Quality control cost if you are incurring, R&D cost, administrative overhead. If it is related to production, then only take it here. Otherwise, you can take it here after the cost of the goods sold. Less credit for recoveries. When you do trial run also, you get some byproduct or you get some sales income, that. And primary packing. Secondary packing will come in the distribution expenses. Secondary packing. But say we are manufacturing oil. So oil needs to be primarily packed in 1 liter sachet. That's primary packing, which will come here. And the secondary packing, okay, the 12 sachets we are putting in box and sealed and all, that will come here. So what all will come after factory cost? Quality control cost, R&D, administrative expenses if related to production, some income. This part I feel is important. They have been asking only this part also for 2 to 3 marks. That's what is explained here. Quality control cost, R&D cost, administrative, some income or any byproduct income, and primary packing. This will be there. Once it is ready, cost of the production, add opening stock, closing stock, you get cost of the goods sold. Add administrative expenses, selling, secondary packing, distribution cost, you get cost of the sales. Now, what will come in the administrative expenses general? So many times, hot favorite question. I'm taking care of all the exam questions here. मेरे mind में चल रहे हैं कि ये MCQ में आता है. This comes in question answer. And just today morning, I checked the RTP of May 25, the mock test paper of the June 25 also. Separately, we will solve it. But I'm just saying that they are asking so many times that under which head you will write the salary which is paid to directors of the company, secretary, accountant, all administrative overhead, general admin building we call it na, they are working for the factory as a whole. So general administrative expenses will include salary for employees who are working in accounts department, directors, secretary, and that admin block mein whatever assets are used in the admin block, say directors they'll be using the laptop, the furniture, the table, the chair, the boardroom, तो उसका depreciation, rent rate, insurance, printing stationery, legal fees, audit fees, very important. This is all a part of administrative overhead. Selling overhead, it is the cost related with the sale of the goods. Okay. Whenever you are having a sales department, there will be people who will working in sales, so unka salary, they'll be using some asset, uska rent, depreciation, and then advertisement expenses, website, all these are selling expenses, right? Secondary packing, and then distribution, delivery van, driver, uska depreciation and all. So this is the points we need to know. Shall we practice one problem? But before that, most important is booster notes are 1 day before exam. Take 5 minutes to revise the format and another 5 minutes to revise the booster notes. You're done. And 15 quality good professional level questions are there in cost sheet. Out of that, in practice batch only, I say these 2 or 3 are important, which are repeatedly asked in exam, that you can revise 1 day before exam. Very important is to mark and keep what you're going to revise 1 day before exam. है ना? चलो, आ जाओ. These are not copied from anywhere. While solving the cost sheet, kahan galti hoti hai, kya, what point you have to remember? That's what is covered in the booster notes. Factory overhead, admin overhead are charged on number of units produced. Factory overhead and administrative overheads are charged on number of units produced. Per unit 5 rupees, 10,000 units produced. But selling and distribution overhead is charged or is incurred on number of units sold. Raw material closing stock is valued at cost of the purchase. Nothing given first in, first out. So, jo closing stock of raw material hai, that will be from purchase. Work in progress, closing stock is valued at factory cost and finished goods is valued at cost of production. Super point if they ask you to make per unit. Look at the screen. ये देखो बेटा, एक बार वापस आ जाओ. Raw material closing stock, sure. That will be from the latest purchase. Work in progress closing stock, that will be at the factory level का cost तो पूरा आ गया ना, work in progress में. And closing stock of finished goods at cost of the production. What is cost of production per unit? 8. How much closing stock is there? 1,000 units. 8,000. Simple. That's why these points are very, very important. Check again with me. Raw material closing stock is valued at cost of purchase, work in progress at factory cost, and finished goods at the closing stock of the production. While writing opening finished goods and closing finished goods, the per unit column will be nil. The amount per unit to utna hi hoga na. Only the amount column will be there. What's raw material consumed? Opening stock plus purchase, carriage inward minus closing. Why I have given this formula? So many times in the cost sheet, profit is given, sales is given. So, you have to work reverse and maybe purchases is your balancing thing. So, we should know this equation. Opening stock of raw material plus purchase plus carriage minus this is raw material consumed. In case GST is paid and ITC is availed, don't add it in the purchases. Okay. For number of units produced, sale. How many units are sold? say 50. How many units are in stock? 10. So 60. Minus opening stock 5. So we get 55. Number of units reduced 55. Sale, add closing stock minus opening stock. Number of units reduced. Or they can, this is like this: opening stock plus production minus closing stock. Number of units sold. दिख रहा है? This we will use from here till the last chapter, that is budgeting. Okay. Opening stock plus number of units produced minus closing stock. This is number of units sold. Or if you know the sales at, anyhow you get it. Understand the concept. मेरे पास 5 यूनिट है, 50 और प्रोड्यूस किए. Out of 55, 3 are in stock. So how many units are sold? 50. ठीक है. Fixed overhead is constant in total. We all know. Variable overhead is constant per unit. And semi-variable overhead, if they give in cost sheet, it will have definitely all the elements of fixed and variable overhead that we can segregate. To segregate semi-variable overhead, how do you get variable cost? See, the change in the cost is because of only the variable element. Huh? Now this I can prove very well. Introduction, I'll take a separate class for this small one, but very important. Variable cost per unit. Change in the cost. Because of the change in the units, that's what is variable cost. Yeah? Or variable cost as a percentage on sales is change in cost. Divide by change in sales. ये अगर per unit दिया है तो this is percentage. Change in cost is always due to the variable. समझ में आ रहा है? If there is some change in the cost, I think 2 minutes definitely we can go back and check this method over there. I'll go and explain. पहले पढ़ लेते हैं. Administrative expenses general are charged with selling and distribution. And if the cost, once they asked equation, cost plus profit is selling price. Look at the screen. Once only they asked cost sheet in the form of equation. So cost plus profit is selling price. If cost is increased, selling price agar same रखना है, so the profit will decrease. Cost is increasing and selling price जो पहले है वही रखना है, तो profit will decrease. If the cost is increasing and on increased cost you want the same margin, profit margin you want same, equal, percentage पहले भी 20%, अभी increased cost पे भी 20%, then selling price will increase. Why I am teaching you these logics are because they are helpful. If cost is increased and selling price is same, the profit will come down. Why? Because cost to बढ़ गया ना. But if cost is increased and on increased cost you want same profit, then the selling price will increase. Sale of scrap is miscellaneous income to be deducted in factory overhead. Per unit column you make only if they ask in exam. Now for semi-variable overhead, go to the first chapter and there I have given in a very nice way. Because that's going to be helpful in all the types of cost sheet, operating costing, सब जगह वो help करेगा बेटा. This is high-low point method or whatever you call it. In January, semi-variable expenses 2,600. It's given in the first page, chapter. In February, it's 3,000. Now, increase in the expense when units are increasing. is because of the variable element. Now, because fixed cost is so constant, you produce and sell 100 units, 1000 or 140, it's constant. So what's the change in the cost? 400. Change in the units, 40. So per unit, how much it is coming? 10. Variable cost per unit is change in the cost. The change in the cost occurred because of the variable element, because fixed cost is the constant. So change in the cost because of the change in the units is variable cost per unit. Now, 1000 units, if you have produced, variable cost is 1000. Total is this, the fixed cost is 1600. 140 units, if you have produced, 10 per unit, 1400, and this is 3000. So 1600. Now, ma'am, what if I produce 180 units in March? Can we compute this? Yeah, you can. How will you compute for 180 units? This is the fixed. And March 180 units, 10 per unit, 1800. I know this is a one shot revision video, but कुछ तो concepts बेटा revise करने हैं ताकि I will not explain this in operating costing, transporter, in budgeting, in job cost sheet. हर जगह पे semi variable overhead दिया रहेगा, मैं तब नहीं पढ़ाऊंगी. I have explained now. Even the profit equation I explained. If you feel this is really helpful to you, comment below the video, share it with your friends, join the live batch so that you get it complete. ठीक है? Now, if I say in April, say I am going to manufacture 500 units. So what's going to be the variable cost? 5,000. Fixed cost to 9 to 6,600. Easily you can estimate. That's the same way if instead of per units, if they have given sales. Huh? Now sales itna hai to cost itna hai. Sales itna hai to cost. Change in the cost 12,000 because of the change in sales. So it's giving 20%. Variable cost as a percentage of sales. Are you getting? Change in the cost because of the change in sales. Kitna hai? 20%. So sales 140 ka 20% is variable. Sales ka 20% is variable. This is fixed. 80,000 ka 20% is variable. This is fixed. Now, ma'am, next year if my sales is 2 lakh, what's my cost? Can we calculate? 2 lakh ka 20%. This is 44,000 fixed and 84. So this is the way you have to segregate semi-variable overhead. There's an equation method also. You can check it. High-low value method equation. Okay. Of course, I'm going to do it, but I've started with practical topics so that you can start practicing. Okay. Cost sheet is clear to you. Format, any doubt? Little in depth I went, and I hope the booster notes are clear to you. Okay. Now, what are the items which are? Achha, what's the use of the cost sheet? They can ask you a theory question. We get all information कि अगर cost इतना है, इतना profit earn करना है, this is my cost, this is the profit. Then what should be the selling price I should quote? What is my profit? I can make budget. We can compare interfirm, intra-firm. It will help you to analyze product-wise, location-wise, all details, efficiency, cost control, and all. What are the items which are specifically excluded, not included in the cost sheet? First one, incomes, non-operating income, like rent, received interest. These are purely financial income. Honestly, इनको क्या लेना देना है cost sheet से? Financial incomes. So don't include. Other income, profit on sale of investment, loss on sale of plant and machinery and all. Don't take it. Okay. Then next is items not representing actual cost, but just like that, provisions. Unreasonable high salary or provision for depreciation. Provision kya hai? In cost sheet, we take actual expenses. Then appropriations of profit. Once you earn the profit, you distribute as dividend, you transfer to reserve. This is not your expense. This is taking out the money from one pocket and putting it in another pocket. It's not expenses. Then income tax is not an expense to be taken in cost sheet. Bad debt, every abnormal losses, goodwill. If you remember all this, we take in reconciliation chapter, we will do integrated costing. है ना? So cost sheet में you will not include all this. Okay? Now, abnormal cost, grant, penalties, interest, all this you will not include. Now let us take up one or two important questions. Anyone is having any doubt, ask. Comment below if you are watching recording also. I'm going to take up the questions now. Okay, this one is a simple question you can practice. Let us take up a question in writing. This is so good. Just simple, they have given you opening and closing details of the raw material and you have to prepare the cost and the profit. And a simple cost sheet, opening stock of raw material, purchase, closing, wages, we get prime cost. Direct expenses is missing many times. Factory overhead, we get works cost. Opening work in progress, closing work in progress, we get factory cost. Administrative cost of the production. Okay, right. Opening finished goods, closing finished goods, cost of the goods which are sold, add selling and distribution overhead. You get the cost of the sales. Add profit, you get sales. Now, many times they give you sales, they give you profit, they give you this, and reverse profit purchase is missing or labor is missing. So, like that, also, we should be able to solve the questions. See here only, bold may I have what is missing and how you are getting it as reverse. This one is also a very nice question asked twice, wherein cost of goods sold is given to you. So always make particulars column, computation or working and amount. If it is in thousands, don't keep adding 3 zeros, फिर 3650, फिर 30, ऐसे नहीं. ठीक है? आप in thousands लिख दो, no problem. Okay. Very nice questions of pen and all which we did. Initial questions are for practice and then I have included the past exam questions also. Okay. This is a nice question. Let us do the 8 sum in the note. ठीक है? 8 वाला sum notebook में करते हैं. कुछ और भी questions करेंगे. In total, there are how many questions? Let me check. 19 questions are there. We are doing the 8 sum. Then a super pen and all questions, same kind can be repeated. That one also I will take. Okay? So 8 question in your note. Shall we do it together? Or you want to do it in a tick way, whatever. देखो. Fire occurred. Practice batch में तो पूरा लिख के ही करते हैं. Fire occurred in the premises and accounting record. Certain accounting records will reveal. You want, then take a screenshot of this question. Super pen and super, that also is a very nice question with equation. We'll take after this. Direct material purchased, opening stock of raw material, work in progress, finished goods, indirect manufacturing cost. That means factory overhead. is 40% of the conversion cost. Now, what is conversion cost? This we did in the first chapter, terms, definition. Conversion cost is like in raw material. If you add labor and overhead, you get the finished goods. So in raw material, if you add labor and overhead, you get finished goods. Labor and overhead is called as the conversion cost. Labor and overhead is cost as the conversion cost. Clear? Right. Sales is there, labor is there, prime cost, cost of the goods which are available for sale. Cost of production and opening stock. These are the goods available for sale. And margin on sales. Loss is fully recovered. Insurance company wants to know all the stock. So they didn't give you the finished goods, closing stock, work in progress, closing stock, and material closing stock. That's what you have to find in the reverse calculation. Yeah. Cost of goods available for sale आपको दे दिया. I think we can check it here. It's a very simple problem. Draw the format. Start with opening stock of the raw material. ये रहा 20,000. Then add purchases 2,50,000. Sales we don't know. So keep it blank and put a box in exam. Make a box that you have found this figure beta. Now what you get raw material consumed but milega nahi. We'll just get it. Now add to it direct labor. Direct labor. Prime cost is given to you. वो भी अभी हम लेंगे उसके पहले डायरेक्ट लेबर दे दिया है और प्राइम कॉस्ट दे दिया है. नाउ फैक्ट्री ओवरहेड. शैल आई से अगेन? Factory overhead is 40% of the conversion cost. What do you mean by conversion cost? Labor and overhead ka 40% is the OC. In raw material, if you add the conversion cost, you get the finished goods. So what is conversion cost? 40% of the conversion cost is overhead. So can I say 60% is labor? Total conversion cost is 100. 40% is overhead. So can I say 60% is labor? तो ये आ गया आपका. Already labor तो आपको दिया ही था ना. 222, 250 is labor 60%. तो जो factory overheads है 40%, वो कितना? Can you calculate? Triple to 250 divide by 60 into 40. Got it. Opening work in progress is given to you. Closing we don't know. So we have put a block. Opening work in progress here. Now, after this, you have cost of the goods which is available for sale. अब वो कैसे आएगा? Factory cost by reverse working, but अभी तो ऐसे ही blank रख लो. Just fill up the figures what you get, right? And now we have cost of the production. Add opening stock. This is given to you. This is given to you. Cost of the goods produced. Add opening stock is given. And you know what are the cost of the goods available for sale. Okay? Right? And then selling overhead is not there. So cost of the goods sold is only the sales. And profit is given. See, they have clearly given that gross margin is 30% of the sales. So 70% is this, 30% kitna? 525 into 30 divided by 70. 220. And cost of the goods sold and cost of sales are same because selling expenses is nil. Now can we go reverse? We know this, we know this. So we got the finished goods stock. Now we know cost of the goods available for sale. Opening stock में add करने के बाद तो इसमें से if you minus this you will get this. Administrative expenses are not given, so same this. Once you get this minus this is this, तो इसमें add करो ये आएगा. Like this you can complete and you will get. Comfortable all of you how we are going to get solve the cost sheet. Actually, one shot revision video is over. I can record it in 40 minutes. You give the feedback, what's helpful to you. That way, or one or two important different variety of questions and repeatedly asked questions, I should show you like this. Which one is helpful? So you got the cost sheet, you can make it anyhow. This one is also a study material question. Study material question. Very nice one, but A Limited has the capacity to produce 1 lakh units. Huh? But at different capacity, the works cost is different. Now see, this is a cost sheet, but opening stock of material purchase, closing stock, material consumed, labor, factory overhead, sub ho gaya, and they have given you works cost se to you have to start the problem. I want you to broaden yourself. These are professional level exams. The more perfect you are at inter level in CA Inter, CMA Inter, what costing is there, that's the same SCM in final. है ना? ठीक है. If fixed administrative expenses are given to you at 150 and all and other details are given to you, and they have asked you to prepare the cost sheet at 30%, 30,000. अब दोनों जगह पे वर्क्स कॉस्ट अलग है. 30% पे it's 380, 100% पे it's 310. Works cost is different. Okay, so if you multiply, you will get. Now they said that they have incurred administrative expenses fixed 150 and sales expenses fixed 250. So 150 and 250. Now, variable distribution cost is 30 per unit. ठीक है? 30 per unit is variable selling expenses. Now, okay, just go on writing. I'm giving you that comfort. Your pen should flow. Unless you don't put the things on paper, you don't get it in costing. जैसे मैंने अभी लिख के बताया ना बेटा आपको कि इतने में इतना है. The moment you write, you get the clarity. That's why read the question paper and start putting the data in your answer sheet. After this, what did they say? The variable cost is 30. It can sell 100% at 500 if it incurs all these expenses. Additional expenses if they are doing, prizes they are giving, sponsorship they are doing, then definitely they are going to sell 100 units at 500. So all this cost if you incur 500 rupees mein you can sell. If not, it can market 30% at 550 without incurring all these expenses. इसका 550 में बेचो और ये cost तो है. So just complete the cost sheet and you get. I know this the format is different, but that's what it is. This one is a very nice question of equation asked long back but nice. Company manufactures radios. अभी एक बार और बीच में भी पूछा था equation बनाओ, but they have asked this in overhead chapter how to make that equation labor and factory overhead. Company manufactures radios which are sold at 1600 per unit. Total cost is 30% material, 40% wages, cost का, C is cost, तो cost का, 30% overhead. ठीक है? An increase in the material price by 30%. How much is material price now? 0.3 into 130%. 0.39. Material cost बढ़ गया. Wages also by 10%. 0.4 था, अब 0.44 हो गया. ठीक है? As a result, the profit at current selling price will decrease by 40%. Obviously, see when cost is increasing and current selling price you want to keep same, तो profit तो will decrease only ना. बराबर है बेटा? So you are required to prepare the statement. And other details are given to you. Right now, what is the selling price? 1600. So first equation is made, cost plus profit is 1600. Now, if the cost is increased and you still want to sell it in 1600, then 40% of the present profit will come down. So if the present profit is P, it will be 40% से तो नीचे आएगा 0.6 P, and the cost is not 1 C, it will be 1.13 C, and this is C. So have you made the equation 2? Now can we multiply above equation by या तो 0.6 या 1.3, तो 0.6 से multiply किया है इसको, हाँ, first equation, and then you can cancel and you will get the values. What is the cost? So cost is coming to 1208. Then uska 30% and uska increase, and you can find out all the values. Now very important is what would be the selling price to maintain same rate of profit. Here what did you say, beta? Cost is increasing. Selling price is same, so profit comes down. Now they are saying cost is increasing. Profit margin on that also keep same, but raw profit will increase. समझ में आ रहा है? कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है, प्रॉफिट को सेम रखना है, वही मार्जिन, तो सेलिंग प्राइस बढ़ाना होगा. If your cost is increasing and you want to earn the same profit margin, then selling price has to increase. So how you will get that? See, right now, what is your cost and profit? 392 is the profit as a percentage of cost, 32.45. Now new cost is 1365. इस पे भी 32.65. समझ में आ रहा है? Right now, my margin is 32. If you are having the book beta, it will become easy. 32.45% on cost. I want to earn the same profit on increased cost. Cost pehle 12,8 tha, 1208. Now it's this. So on 1365 into 32.45%. They're increasing. So your selling is coming to 1808. Then you will earn the same profit. Good question. Did I jump fast? आप देखो कोई doubt है equation बनाने में. 10 minutes more and we are done with. Sure. Yeah, this one is, pehle it was asked in RTP, then it was asked in the 23 question paper also. Let us do it. Has got a very nice learning. वो learning भी कर लिए तो समझ में आ जाएगा. X Limited is manufacturing 2 kind of product. Yeah, if they ask you to make cost sheet for 2 product, तो super pen normal अगर पूछे तो, इसमें तो एक ही पूछा है but just saying. Material, wages, factory, production overhead, total is given. Now, direct material in super pen was twice direct labor. Wages, वो सब दिया है. Production and sales is given. Okay, you have produced both. You did super pen also. You did normal pen also. You did super pen also. You did normal pen also. But you have sold only super pen. सेल तो सिर्फ सुपर पेन का ही है आपका, ठीक है. And selling price also of super pen they have given. So they have asked you to prepare cost sheet only of super pen. But this cost is total for the super also, for normal also. So what you have to learn with me in the cost sheet is how to segregate the cost. I will teach you that. ये देखो. प्रिपेयर द कॉस्ट शीट कॉस्ट पर यूनिट. अब पर यूनिट कॉलम बोला है तो बनाना पड़ेगा. ये देखो particulars per unit total. Now, how many units are produced for super? Stay with me. Stay with me here. 40,000. How many units are produced for normal? 120. Now, direct material cost in super pen was twice as much of direct labor in the normal. Are you getting? Material cost in super pen. एक unit of super pen is using twice the material which is used in normal pen. So can I say the material use ratio is 80,000 is to 1,20,000, 8 is to 12, or you want to simplify, then 2 is to 3. So now while preparing the cost sheet, see, now while preparing the cost sheet, direct material cost, मैंने बराबर ही बताया ना, yeah, 80,000. I'll show you the working. 80,000 अगर इसके हैं तो इसके 120, and direct material cost is 8 lakhs. Yeah. So you can't say, dear students, look at the screen. You can't say, ma'am, material cost 8 lakh. No. Divide by 40,000 ye 120 ye 160. It will go wrong. Understand the concept. 8 lakh material cost, you cannot divide by 1,60,000 units produced, because this is using double the material than this. Can I divide 8 lakh by 2 lakh 120 A or E? So you are getting 4 per unit. 4 per unit. Or you can do like that, 8 lakh into 80,000 divide by 120. I hope you are getting in this ratio. 8 lakh divide by 120 into 80,000. तो कितना आ रहा है आपका? Oops. Into 80 divide by 2 lakh ना. Proportionate. In the ratio of 8 is to 12. 8 by 20. 8 lakh into 8 divided by 20. 3,20,000. आया आपका material. Ma'am, what about other material costs? That's for other pen. Or you can do, how did I do? Please check again. 8 lakh was the cost, not for 160 units, but for 180 units. So 4 per unit. How many units are produced? 40,000. Huh. 4 is the cost of 4 per unit is the cost of this, right? Okay. 40,000 and 1,20,000. So this is the way, in the simple proportion you can get the answer. So if you are doing this way, then 8 lakhs. Okay. Divide by 2 lakhs. 8 lakhs is the cost. You divide by 2 lakhs into 80,000. I think that's the best way. And if you get 4 per unit, it is here. Here तो it is used double, no? 1 unit में यहाँ पे 4 rupees cost है. So here तो 2 units of the raw material are used. That's why they have taken 8. One more time we will do the same for labor. You will get it. Direct wages for normal was 60% of that of super. Super and normal. Now you see the working only. Get the answer. Direct wages अगर super pen W है तो normal pen 60% of W है, right? And super pen, how many units you have made? 40,000. And per unit labor is W. Whereas super, how many units? 120. and per unit is 0.6W. So if you solve this, you will get that wages are 4 per unit. Wages are 4 per unit तो here और दूसरे के लिए 4 का 60%, but we don't have to make for the other. Okay. Now, next, production overhead is same. Oh, then easy. What's production overhead? 192. And how many units are produced? 40 here, 120 here, 160. So, 1,92,000 production overhead divide by 160, 1.2 per unit. आ गया? So, you are getting the factory cost. Now, administrative overhead were 200% of the labor. लेबर जो है ना उसका 200% is administrative overhead. So cost of the production. And clearly they gave 40,000 units are produced and 36,000 are sold. So 4,000 are in stock. Easy? Yeah? Opening stock नहीं है तो छोड़ दो. तो 4,000 units का cost per unit cost is 21.2 per unit आ रहा है ना cost बराबर. 4,000 का कितना 4,000 into 21.84,800 is closing stock. This is the cost of the goods sold. Selling expenses is 1 per unit sold. Many students, they do silly mistake here, beta. They are writing 40,000. 40,000 units is the number of units produced. Selling expenses are always number of units sold. Okay. And selling price is given to you. That's 30. So you get the profit and all the that. The different part was the ratio proportionate. That if 40,000 units are produced and 120, you can't take direct because here labor is 1, so here it is 60%, 0.6, like that. Nice question. 13th is also very nice. Same. You get the answer. Production में से defective you have taken out. Closing stock you have taken out. And then you get the number of units sold. It's a very simple question. Working, you will be able to do it. This we have done in the practice batch, but a very nice question to be revised. Quality of questions, not very tough, not very easy, but professional level. ये है RTP का question, MTP के questions. What if this and what if that they are given. This is the CMA question. CMA study material में भी है और इस टाइप के questions आते हैं for the CMA exam में. Anywhere it can be asked. It's a cost sheet only. Simple it is. But then in cost and routine cost sheet, photography charges, artist, copywriter, you get prime cost, production overhead, factory, and selling overhead. General expenses are not there. The children. It's easy, but how you have charged, you have to take. That you join the practice batch beta to do all these questions. Yeah, last one is from the CMA exam का mock test का इतना simple question. Opening inventory, raw material sale, you get this. And direct labor you get. Factory overhead is 60% of the directly works cost. Opening and closing. Administrative overhead 5% of sales they gave. Sales was given or uska 5%. So you got the cost of the production. Add opening stock minus you get the cost of sale. Selling overhead is given 10%. You get cost of sales and profit. Same kind of questions are repeatedly asked in the CMA exam. And for CA exam, if you ask me, out of that, what is important? The pen one, which I did now. The framing of the equation. Now, even though they gave the details of super pen and some other pen, if they have asked you to make this jitna puche utna hi karna, extra means you will come and say, ma'am, I was not able to complete the paper. I got 58 marks because I solved 85 marks paper. Had I solved 100, तो मुझे 60 exemption तो मिल ही जाए. Yeah? You will learn a lot of things. Tomorrow we are going to have Nilima here with us, and she has got 87 marks in costing. It's my mentorship and coaching, but they have worked hard. You just talk with her and take all the inputs from these students. That's all for today. We'll be doing after the cost sheet, the material, labor, overhead. These are I call as 4 pillars so that you can start practicing the question and then we can go for small topics. Okay? Right. Thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, share it with your friends if you genuinely felt you have got some input. यू टेल मी कि लास्ट वाले क्वेश्चन में आपको दिखाती ही नहीं थी कि ये सुपर पेन फिर भी तो कॉस्ट शीट रिविजन इज डन इन द फर्स्ट 40 minutes only. Anyone watching till now, you can put a duration that revision completed till 40 minutes. After that, we have solved the important question answers. Yeah. Same way, I'm also putting up DT and IDT one shot revision lectures. That also you can watch. Thank you. Bye bye, all of you. Prepare very well, work hard. We are working at inter level to get superb marks and prepare a base for SCM final, DT same for final, in IDT GST same for final, and then to qualify and live a wonderful life for yourself. So act, feel, behave as if you are qualified, how you are going to live your life, what you're going to dress up, how you will be maintaining your timing, your decorum, है So that is going to give you a very nice mindset. And when you are qualified, when you are earning good, when you are happy with your work, you return back to society. You return back to your family. And the first foremost is you return back to yourself. So with this motivation, thank you so much. सही में आप bye. 2 बार bye bye बोल के मैं बातें कर रही हूँ. Bye all of you.